What's going on, everyone? How y'all doing today? Kaiuchiya here, coming with some more videos for today. And for today's video, we are going to be bringing back the Ranked Battles Road to Master Ball tier Pokemon Shield, and we are going to be doing double battles. So if you guys want to go ahead and watch this video, feel free. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. But let's get into today's video. Alright, you guys, so we are in today's video, and for today's video, like I said, we are going to be doing ranked battles for Pokemon Shield, and they are going to be double battles. So before we get things started, I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys real quick about my team and what I'm going to be bringing. So, to kick things off, we're going to be going ahead and starting with our Venusaur. Now, of course, it is a shiny Venusaur. I actually went ahead and I shiny hunted for a Venusaur. I egg trained, or should I say, I went ahead and I did the egg breeding and everything like that for the Masuda method, and I got most of my shinies, but except for one, I'm still debating on if I should go ahead and get the shiny or not. So just bear with me. If I don't get it, then you'll understand the reason being behind it, or I'll go ahead and explain it later on after we go ahead and talk about our team. So we're going to be rocking with our Venusaur, which is a grass poison type. And of course, he has his EV training in HP, special attack, and also defense. I went ahead and he has the ability Overgrow. I tried to go ahead and get the Chlorophyll instead of Overgrow, but unfortunately it went ahead and decided to be an Overgrow Venusaur, but that is besides the point. He's actually still pretty good Mon and everything. So he's going to be rocking with the Leech Seed, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, and Giga Drain. And he is a modest nature, and I am going to actually go ahead and remove that for now. So, that way they can go ahead and go in from scratch. And the next Pokemon that we're going to be bringing out is none other than our shiny Gyarados. Now, everyone has probably went ahead and done the max raid battles for the shiny Magikarp raids that were actually out there later in the, for the game. So I decided to go ahead and bring out my shiny Gyarados. Now, the thing is that with this Gyarados is actually a very, very powerful Mon, and he's going to be holding the Assault Vest that is actually going to go ahead and raise up its special defense. Even though Gyarados' special defense is very, very high enough as it is, but I decided that I want to go ahead and raise it up even higher. So as you can see, it is going to be running with the ability of the Moxie Boost, so that way every time that we knock out a Pokemon, it gets a boost in its regular attack. And I actually trained it up in its attack, defense, and speed, so that way it can actually go ahead and make sure that it could withstand those physical attack moves a little bit more and be able to go ahead and hit hard and hit fast. And it's going to be going ahead and rocking with Waterfall, Bounce, Earthquake, and Outrage. Now, this is actually a very good moveset for my perspective for a Gyarados, but I know for a fact that there's way more different Gyaradoses out there that actually run with a different moveset. So I really like this moveset, to my knowledge. I really do love it. And it is going to be an Adamant nature, and I am as well going to go ahead and take that off. And our next Mon is going to be none other than Salazzle. Now, this is the Mon that I haven't gotten to go ahead and get shiny yet, but there's also another thing that I need to do is go ahead and bottle cap its, I believe it's HP, so then that way it can be able to have a little bit more hit points. But as you can see, the Salazzle is going to be holding the Choice Scarf, so that way its speed can be boosted a little bit. Even though Salazzle is already fast as it is, but if I make this Salazzle even faster, it is going to be even more of a threat. So then that way we can go ahead and make sure that the Salazzle will go ahead and use its moves to a T. So as you can see, this Salazzle is going to be basically run throughout a spread of its physical or its EVs. So it's gonna have defense, speed, special defense, and special attack. And of course, as you can see from what the nature is, it is going to be timid, as you can see right here. And also the moveset is going to be Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, Venoshock, and Flamethrower. Now, the reason why I chose Toxic and Will-O-Wisp is because of the fact that even though those accuracy moves are very are not always going to be hitting, I really do enjoy the fact that it's actually going to be having its ability Corrosion. Now, Corrosion is actually going to allow me to actually poison other targets, even if it's a steel or a poison type. So if we do end up running into like a steel type like Copperajah or Duraludon or Berserker, Corviknight, whatever have you, we can go ahead and make sure that we can hit them with a Toxic, so then that way we can go ahead and poison those Pokemon, and then we can go ahead and hit them with a Venoshock to double the attack. But we have to make sure that we go ahead and switch out our Salazzle, so in that way we can go ahead and or actually go ahead and hit them with the Venoshock. So that way its power will be doubled. And of course, like I said, it's going to be a timid nature, Salazzle. The next Pokemon that we have is none other than our Duraludon here. Now, Duraludon is going to be holding the weakness policy, which allows its attack and special attack to be increased by 2 stages if it gets hit by one of its, super effective moves, like a ground type or a fighting type. And Duraludon, since Duraludon is only weak to 2 typings, which is ground and fighting, it's really going to go ahead and be a super hard hitter. And as you can see, it is going to have the ability Stalwart, which basically ignores moves like Follow Me, Rage Powder, and stuff like that, to basically go ahead and make sure that the Pokemon will be the single target that it hits. So with Duraludon with Stalwart, it will go ahead and make sure that it ignores that move and actually hit the designated attack right there and then. And as you can see, it is going to be going ahead and having a spread in its special attack, special defense, and a little bit in speed. And I think I also trained it up in defense, but I can't really remember. But that is what I'm going to be running with this Duraludon. So in that way, the Duraludon can actually go ahead and have a little bit of high special defense, because most of the Duraludons actually don't have that high special defense. But if with the stats that I'm running with, it'll actually go ahead and help it out to stay in battle a little bit longer. So as you can see, it is going to be running with Iron Defense, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, and Steel Beam. Now the thing is about Steel Beam, I know for a fact that it does tremendous recoil damage, but the thing is that we are not going to be using Steel Beam. What we are going to be using is actually Max Steel Spike to go ahead and raise up Duraludon's defenses even further than Iron Defense will. So if we go ahead and raise up the Iron Defense by 2 stages, then we can go ahead and hit them with a Max Steel Spike to raise it up by 1 more. And then after that, it won't go ahead and get destroyed by a ground or a fighting type move, because if it did, then it would definitely get one-shotted. So with that, it will go ahead and be a useful and more powerful Pokemon. And we are going to be running with a modest nature Duraludon, which I really am going to enjoy. Now the next Pokemon that we're going to be running with is a shiny Grimmsnarl, and it is going to be holding the Light Clay, which allows protective moves like Light Screen and Reflect to last a lot longer. And also, since Grimmsnarl is basically going to be a supporter Pokemon, it's not going to see as much battle, but it is going to be one of the first mons that is definitely going to be out on the field. As you can see, it is going to be running with the ability Prankster, so then that way it will give priority to status moves by +1. So that way we can make sure that we can get our Reflect and our Light Screen off a lot quicker than having to go ahead and stay behind in certain amount of areas. But as you can see, it is going to be diverse in its special defense, and HP. And since Grimmsnarl's attack power is already pretty much like, almost off the scales, we don't really need to have to go ahead and worry about running with a physical attacker Grimmsnarl. At first, I was thinking about going ahead and actually putting Foul Play or something like that on my Grimmsnarl, but I really, really do like the priority moves, so then that way Prankster can go ahead and go first. And as you can see, it is going to be running with Fake Out, Light Screen, Reflect, and Thunder Wave. Now, I really do like, the moveset that I do have on it. But like I said, I am still debating on if I should go ahead and run with Thunder Wave or with Foul Play. But if I do end up going ahead and switching the moves, then you'll probably know what move I actually took off. So as you can see, like I said, it is going to be an Adamant-natured Grimmsnarl. And last but certainly not least is none other than our shiny Dragapult. Now, I really love shiny Dragapult. I really love shiny Dragapult because of the way that it looks, and it's so monstrous. Now, as you can see, it is going to be holding the Life Orb, which gives a boost to its moves, but it loses a little bit of HP every single time that it uses the Life Orb to go ahead and actually throw off its moves. And as you can see, it is going to be having the ability Curse Body, which actually disables moves. So then that way, if Dragapult was to get hit by a move that it is super weak to, it can probably go ahead and activate its Curse Body, so then that way it won't get hit by that specific move ever again, at least for the time being. So then that way we can go ahead and switch out our Dragapult, and then go into a different Pokemon, so then that way we can go ahead and actually destroy that Pokemon, so then that way it won't be a threat to our Dragapult ever again. As you can see, it is going to be running with Dragon Dance, Dragon Darts, Steel Wing, and Phantom Force. I really like Dragon Darts because of the fact that it's actually 2 hits, and in double battles, it will go ahead and hit 1 Pokemon each, and it's almost like a spread move in a sense, but it's really, really effective in double battles. I really do say so myself. And Phantom Force, we can go ahead and disappear for a little bit, and then make sure that we can go ahead and get our specific move off on one of the Pokemon that we are going to be going ahead and hitting them with Phantom Force with. And like I said, it is going to be an Adamant-natured Dragapult. And the thing is that I really wanted to go ahead and run Jolly Nature on it, but I really wanted to get that extra boost in attack power, so then that way we can go ahead and make sure that the mons that are going up against our Dragapult or that is on the field will go ahead and die or close to fainting in battle, so then that way we can make sure that our Dragapult can sit pretty. But that is our team for the double battles. Like I said before, with all these mons, they are actually really well balanced out, and hopefully we can go ahead and get a few W's in this match. So like I said before, if you guys want to go ahead and stay tuned to go ahead and watch me actually battle with these Pokemon, feel free. So let's go ahead and get into the battles. Alright guys, so we are in the Wi-Fi battles, as you can see, and like I said, we're going to go ahead and kick things off with our party here of our 6 Pokemon. And we did do a battle before, that was like a very long time ago, but I decided just to go ahead and just let that go. And we're going to go ahead and find ourselves our first trainer here, and they are the same ranked as us. And they're going to be running with a team of Togekiss, Arcanine, Incineroar, Venusaur, Corsola, and Torkoal. So this team looks like a very, very diverse fire-type team, and it is... and it looks like Gyarados will definitely go in on this team. Um, but if I really had to go ahead and make a guess, I honestly think that they're actually going to go ahead and bring out that Corsola to go ahead and be like a nuisance, especially with that Sap Sipper. So that way its HP can always go ahead and come back. So for to kick things off, we're going to go ahead and start things off with our Grimmsnarl, and we're going to bring our Gyarados as the second mon. And we're going to go ahead and bring Dragapult to go ahead and be like the back burner. And also, I think Duraludon actually would be the better case in this situation. Or Venusaur might be a big threat. So what we're going to do is actually not bring in our Dragapult. We're actually going to bring in our Salazzle. Because I honestly think that Venusaur is really going to be a major threat with the Chlorophyll. Because I do see that the Torkoal does have the Drought. And I'm pretty sure that the Venusaur does have Chlorophyll. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we can go ahead and withstand. So he does go with the Venusaur and Torkoal set. And let's see. So he does bring out the Drought. And if I do had to say so myself, I honestly think that the Venusaur in this case is not that big of a threat to us as of this point. So what we're going to do is actually double into the Torkoal here. So that way we can go ahead and make sure that this Torkoal is not going to be a major threat later on in the battles. Because the thing is that the Venusaur is more of like a special attack user, and with the Venusaur actually being a grass type, it's not going to really do that much damage to either of our Mons because of the fact that our Gyarados has the Assault Vest, and our Grimmsnarl is actually a prankster with Light Clay. So we do see the Sludge Bomb, and it's actually got a one-shot. He got crit. It's got a one-shot at Grimmsnarl, so that's unfortunate. And it's actually a Life Orb. So we do get the Waterfall. Oh wow, this is that is a bulky boy. So we're gonna go into our Salazzle here, and I know for a fact that it does have the Chlorophyll because we did see it go first before the Torkoal, I want to say. So we're going to go ahead and hit the Venusaur with the Flamethrower, and I think what we're going to do next is actually we're going to go for another Waterfall, so then that way we can make sure to see if we can get another flinch on the Torkoal, because the Torkoal is slower. It's the slowest thing out there. So he actually withdraws the Torkoal, and he ends up bringing out a Togekiss. Okay. And he's actually going to go ahead and Dynamax, I believe, the Venusaur to get that G-Max Vine Lash. Oh no, so it's actually regular Dynamax Venusaur. So we're going to probably see a Max Overgrow come off of the Venusaur. Oh wow, so this, yeah, see a Max Quake. Ah. Alright, so it seems like the Venusaur is a bigger threat. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go for the Max Steel Spike into the Venusaur. And we're going to go ahead and bounce on the Venusaur as well. I thought, honestly, that it was going to be more of a major threat on the Torkoal, but it looks like the Venusaur is actually of the bigger threat here. I should have went ahead and focused my attention on the Venusaur. That was a big mistake on my part. So yeah, he does go for the Max Quake, and he's probably going to go ahead and hit, yep, our Gigantamax Duraludon. And our Duraludon does live. That is a special attacker right there. But our weakness policy does come off, and we are going to get a boost in our special attack by 2 stages. And it is a life orb, like I said. Oh my god. And our Duraludon just kicked the bucket. And we can't really do anything about this situation either. Yeah, we can't really do anything about the situation, and he just used Follow Me, so basically, we hit the Togekiss instead of the Venusaur. I don't know. But that Follow Me and that bounce actually did a lot of more damage than I anticipated. Maybe we can try to pull it back with just Gyarados. But nah, he's gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. Gyarados actually lives and goes for the Air Slash. And I think he's gonna, oh my god, Gyarados. Gyarados is such a monster. Oh my god, and the sunlight faded. But I think, if anything, he's actually going to go ahead and bring back his Torkoal later on to go ahead and bring back the sun. But yeah, the Togekiss is way faster than our Gyarados, and that was a crit. And that's going to be our first loss with this team. I know this team is actually a lot more capable, but I should have faked out the Venusaur. If I would have faked out the Venusaur on the first turn, then we would have been sitting a lot more prettier. But, you know, we're going to have to go ahead and just take this L and get into the next battle. Alright, looks like we found ourselves another trainer, and their name is Poli, and it looks like it's a ghost team. Ah, okay. So, it's a ghost team, consists of Gengar, Palossand, Cursula, Dusclops, Marowak, and Jellicent. So it looks like more of a physical attacker team, I want to say. And it looks like the Pokemon that really puts in the work right here would probably be Dragapult and Duraludon. But we're definitely going to go ahead and bring in Grimmsnarl, so then that way we can go ahead and get up our Reflex and stuff like that. And Duraludon is definitely going to be in there, and Dragapult too. And I would go ahead and say on the limb that we should go ahead and bring in Gyarados to go ahead and just, like, make sure that we can be, like, it can go ahead and just sweep the team afterwards. So we're going to see Cursula and Jellicent as the first two mons. And if I do have to say so myself, I think we're going to see more of a special attackers coming off on, or special attack usage coming off on this. So what we're going to do is actually go ahead and use a light screen, and we're actually going to go ahead and dark pulse this Cursula. Because I honestly think that the Jellicent is not that much of a bigger threat as far as I'm concerned. But I can't really do any calculations and stuff like that. So we're just going to have to go ahead and play by ear. So he actually does switch out the Cursula. And he actually goes ahead and brings in the Dusclops. And it's pressure. So we go ahead and get our light screen, which is good. And we go ahead and send off the Dark Pulse. And the Dusclops actually takes a big chunk of damage. And goes for the Water Spout. And like I said, with the light screen, it's not really going to do that much damage. So we're actually going to go for the Thunder Wave. So then that way we can make sure that we can get a couple of paralysis spread out. And we're actually going to go ahead and go for another Dark Pulse here. So we connect the Thunder Wave, and the Jellicent is going to be probably getting full paralysis, maybe. But we do connect another Dark Pulse, and that's going to seal the deal on the Dusclops. And that was a crit. I'm gonna say that the crit actually mattered there, and we do see the full paralysis on the Jellicent, which is good. So he's actually going to bring out his Cursula once again. And what I'm going to do is actually set up the Reflect. And I'm actually going to go ahead and Dark Pulse the Cursula again. Because that way we can go ahead and try to see if we can get a flinch on the Cursula. Just in case if the Cursula is a physical attacker, we're actually going to go ahead and get the Reflect up. Oh my god, that is so much damage! And he's going to go for the Scald here on the Grimmsnarl. That's actually... okay. And the Jellicent's going to go for the Whirlpool. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to get trapped in a Vortex, and our Grimmsnarl is going to get burned. Alright. I think I see what it's gonna be doing now. Okay. So our Grimmsnarl here has actually done enough work for us at this moment. So what we're gonna do is actually go ahead and Dynamax to max darkness on this Jellicent. And we're actually gonna go ahead and switch our Grimmsnarl out and to save it for later, so then that way we can actually go ahead and make sure we can get another light screen off. And we're going to bring in our Gyarados at this point. So we're going to switch out, and we're going to bring in Gyarados. And we're going to go ahead and Dynamax our Duraludon here to a Gigantamax Duraludon. And we're going to go, like I said, we are going to go for the max darkness and actually get a Spadef drop on the Cursula if need be. And that almost one-shot at the Jellicent. So the reason why I actually brought out my Gyarados is for a play, and you guys are going to be tripping once I go ahead and do this play. So we actually see the Hex, and that was actually a smart play on my part to actually switch out my Grimmsnarl. So what we're going to do is actually go for Earthquake here, and we're actually probably going to pick up a 2-hit KO on this. And we're just going to go ahead and burn one of our turns on the Max Darkness here. So we're going to go for the Earthquake, and we get a double KO. And we're actually going to go ahead and activate our own weakness policy with our Earthquake. So that way we can go ahead and make sure that our Duraludon actually has a +2 in special attack and attack. And we actually get the Moxie boost, and we raise up our attack sharply. That is what I am hoping for. This team is going to be the most ridiculous team yet. And hopefully I saved up this entire play right there, because that was actually very, very good. What we're going to do is actually Outrage. And we're going to go for the Max Darkness on the Gengar. Because I'm pretty sure that this Gengar is actually going to go ahead and G-Max. It's going to be a G-Max Gengar. But I'm not sure. But depending on what it actually is, yes, it is actually a G-Max Gengar. But depending on its spread, if it is a speedy Gengar, then we're probably going to go second. Yeah, so he's going to go for the Max Lightning, and it's actually going to hit into our Gyarados. But we are living because we do have the Assault Vest, and that is tremendous. Gyarados, you are a monster. So we're going to go for the Outrage here, and that's going to really, really hurt this Gengar. And we're going to go for the Max Darkness and seal the deal on the Gengar. Let's go! This team is so good. So that was a nice 4-0 on this person. GG to Poli. GG. And we got a bottle of calcium, and also what I'm going to do is actually just go ahead and check this opponent's stuff, and we'll be right back. So GG's to my opponent. And he actually did have some worthy Pokemon out there to go ahead and use. But unfortunately, most of his Pokemon weren't fully trained. But hopefully he can go ahead and train up his Pokemon to be a little bit more valuable and a little bit better. So we're going to go up against Ranked 1 Ali. And this team is going to consist of Excadrill, Dragapult, Togekiss, Snorlax, Grimmsnarl, and Cloyster. So I honestly think that the Grimmsnarl is definitely going to be a prankster Grimmsnarl, and I honestly think that he might end up going ahead and bringing out either Excadrill or Dragapult as his like supporter for Grimmsnarl. But I do see more of a intertwine of like physical attackers and special attackers. But if I do have to go ahead and bring out a Mon, I would say probably Grimmsnarl and Duraludon goes in mostly on this team. And the Cloyster might be a big threat. But I honestly think that Dragapult and Gyarados, like the last time, actually puts in a lot of work. So we're going to go ahead and lock in our team at this point. And I honestly can say that I think the Grimmsnarl is definitely going to be going ahead and coming out first. But let's go ahead and see what our opponent is going to be bringing out, and if I made the prediction on the Grimmsnarl for his portion of his team to come out first correct. So he does go with Snorlax Grimmsnarl. Okay, so I honestly can say that the Grimmsnarl is definitely going to go ahead and have the Prankster ability, and he might end up going ahead and just trying to fake out my my Duraludon, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to what I'm going to do is that I'm actually going to go ahead and fake out the Snorlax. And I'm actually going to go ahead and switch out my, yeah, I'm actually going to switch out my Duraludon. Because that way, if the fake out does come off into my Duraludon, it won't work against my Dragapult because my Dragapult is a ghost type. So he actually Dynamaxes, but I think he might Gigantamax his Snorlax though. No, it's actually just a regular Dynamax Snorlax. So this was a bad situation for me to do that. Okay, but let's see. The Grimmsnarl does hit for the fake out. And he was actually going to go ahead and taunt. Ah, okay. But the Grimmsnarl does not get KO'd. So this is actually a physical attacker. But yeah, that is a physical attacker. So I think what I'm going to do is do a Steel Wing onto the Grimmsnarl. And he does it, and I do the same thing. I go for my Reflect. But I'm going to go ahead and hit this Dragapult with, or this Grimmsnarl with a Steel Wing. And that does do a little bit of damage because of the Life Orb. And basically, we just went ahead and kind of just burned 2 turns of his, Dynamax and everything. And he does get a boost in its defenses because of the Max Steel Spike. But what we can do is go ahead and bring out our Duraludon here. And with Duraludon, we can go ahead and... It's not really going to do that much damage to us because of the fact that we actually go ahead and, have a max... Well, we have 2 Mons out here that are actually very, very useful in our situation because what we're going to be doing now is actually Gigantamaxing our Duraludon here. And what we're going to be doing next is actually go for the Phantom Force. I think that's actually the best play, is actually go for the Phantom Force on the Grimmsnarl. So that way we can actually vanish out of there and basically snip a turn away from the Dynamax Snorlax. Because I honestly think that if... because he realizes that the Gigantamax Duraludon is actually going to come out and it's actually going to be fully healthy and it does have the Reflect up to help. And we're going to go for the Phantom Force. And we're going to disappear. And we're going to go for the Max Steel Spike into the Grimmsnarl slot. And it's going to KO the Grimmsnarl. Let's go. And hopefully the Snorlax actually used one of its max moves onto our Dragapult slot. Because if it did... Yeah, so we burned his last turn of Dynamax. That was actually a very smart play on my part. So he brings out Excadrill. And he has Mold Breaker. Okay. So we're going to go for the Max Depletion here. Or the G-Max Depletion, so then that way we can actually go ahead and deplete some of the Excadrill's moves on it. And we're actually going to go ahead and still have the Phantom Force in use because of the Excadrill being in the Grimmsnarl's slot location. So we get the Phantom Force, and it connects onto the... Oh my god, that did so much damage! And he goes for the Iron Head. And that barely does anything. And we get the Curse Body, and it disables the Iron Head. And we get the G-Max depletion. And that's going to go ahead and do tremendous damage to the Snorlax. Just a little. But we do get the PP reduction for the Snorlax and for the Excadrill. So it's actually going to go ahead and raise up its attack and defense, but that's not really going to go ahead and help you out in that much of regards. And we are actually going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Darts. And we're going to go for the Max Darkness onto the Excadrill. Probably going... And we probably go ahead and... What I'm trying to say is that we probably burned its Focus Sash that it did have probably onto the Excadrill. But we're going to go for the Dragon Darts here. And it's going to do a little bit of damage onto the Snorlax, and it's going to do a little bit of damage onto the Excadrill. But that's fine by me, because of the fact that it is going to go for the Earthquake, and our Duraludon is actually going to... And you're going to actually just activate my Trap card here, which is the Weakness Policy. Now you done messed up, boy, because our Duraludon is going to have a boost in its special attack by 2 stages, and Snorlax actually had a Figgy Berry on it. And we're gonna go for the Max Darkness here, and we're gonna seal the deal on this Excadrill. And the special defense does go down on the Snorlax, and the Excadrill goes down, and our Duraludon is looking pretty right now, and the Fire Punch does come off, and it does do a crit, but our Duraludon doesn't really matter about that. Oh my god, this team is doing so well. And here comes a Dragapult of its own accord. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Phantom Force. And we're going to go for the Dark Pulse on this Dragapult. And the Dragapult goes for the Dragon Darts. It's going to do a little bit of damage to our Duraludon. And our Dragapult goes down. But that's fine. But we do end up going ahead and getting the Curse body on it. And now it can no longer use its Dragon Darts. And we're going to go for the Dark Pulse and seal the deal on the Dragapult. Because I know for a fact that it's fully committed in its speed and attack. Because it's how mostly Dragapults are. And we see the Iron Head, and it goes into our Duraludon, but it's not that very effective. And what we're going to be doing now is going into our none other than our fully healthy Gyarados here. And it is shiny. And our Duraludon is really doing a lot of work for itself. So we're just going to go ahead and hit it with the signature move, Steel Beam. But he actually cancels the battle, and we end up picking up the W at the 2-1 situation, and that is GG's. Alright, so we are in beginner number 2. We got 10 BP for that. And what we're going to be doing now is going ahead and doing one more match, and after this match we're going to go ahead and end the video here. Also, I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys that that Excadrill didn't even have a Focus Sash. It actually was an Assault Vest variant. But hey, either way, we still ended up winning the match, and that was a good thing. Alright, after standing and sitting for like 3 minutes, we finally found ourselves another trainer. So it looks like this trainer is actually going to consist of Torkoal, Venusaur, Grimmsnarl, Cinderace, Excadrill, and Togekiss. So, like the last battle that we had from before, probably lead with Torkoal and Venusaur. But let's see if we really had to go ahead and make the case, but I think the best thing to do is actually go after that Venusaur if I do say so myself. But we're going to go ahead and kick things off with our Grimmsnarl, and we're actually going to go ahead and go with our Salazzle. And then we're going to go ahead and bring in Gyarados, and our last Mon will definitely be Duraludon. So he's locked in his team, I'm locked into my team, and let's go ahead and do this. And I'm thinking it's supposed to be Marcello? Or Markello. One of the two. But anyways, we're going to be going up against our opponent, and let's see what he has in store for us. So he goes with the Grimmsnarl Cinderace lead. Okay. So I almost do a similar type thing here to him. But instead, what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and focus my attention on the Cinderace here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and fake out to Toxic. The Cinderace. Because the Grimmsnarl is probably, I don't know, but I'm thinking that his Grimmsnarl might have, like, Taunt or whatever. So we get the fake out first. And he goes for Light Screen. Okay. But that's not really going to matter to us. So we get the Toxic off on the Cinderace. And we already know that we flinched it. So we got that turn of flinch going on. And what I'm going to do now is actually go for the Reflect here. And I'm going to switch out my Pokemon right now. And we're going to go into our Gyarados. So we're going to switch out Salazzle. And we're going to go into Gyarados. And hopefully the Cinderace actually focuses his attack on our Gyarados here, because that was the Salazzle slot. And the Grimmsnarl goes for the Reflect. And he already has the Light Screen up too. And he goes for the Iron Head. And it becomes a Steel type. So, okay. I think I know what I'm going to do at this point now. This point in time. So I already got my Grimmsnarl's Reflect up. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my Grimmsnarl, and I'm going to go ahead and go for the Waterfall on the Cinderace. So he goes for the Thunder Wave onto our Gyarados to try to slow it down a little bit. And the Cinderace goes for the Bounce. But since Cinderace avoided the attack, we don't get the hit. But that's fine with me, because I'm going to go for the Venoshock. And I'm going to go for the Waterfall again, because the Cinderace is definitely going to have to come back down. But Salazzle avoided the attack, and we get the Venoshock onto the Grimmsnarl that does a little bit of that does a pretty good amount of damage. And the Bounce comes off, and it hits the Gyarados, but that's fine. And we're going to go ahead and hit the Waterfall here onto the Cinderace, and that does tremendous damage, and the Poison will go ahead and render the Cinderace useless. His Grimmsnarl is just standing there at this point, just, you know, setting up screens and stuff like that. And here comes Togekiss. So we're actually locked into Venoshock here. And I know for a fact that Togekiss is a little bit more of a bigger threat. So we're going to go ahead and double into the Togekiss here. And we're just going to go ahead and leave the Grimmsnarl the way that it is, because I know for a fact that the Grimmsnarl doesn't have any moves just besides Thunder Wave, Light Screen, Reflect, and probably a different move as well too. So we're going to go for the Venoshock, and it does tremendous damage against the Togekiss. And we're going to see the D-Gleam come off. And it doesn't do anything to our Salazzle, but it does get a critical hit off the Gyarados. And we see a Play Rough come off onto the Gyarados, but our Gyarados is sitting pretty, and he just got a full paralysis on us. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch out. I think that's the best move to do. So we got 4 turns of Reflect still. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and switch out our Gyarados here so that we can go ahead and make sure that our Gyarados stays alive just for a little bit in case if we need it for later to take a hit. So we're going to go ahead and go into our Duraludon here, and our Salazzle gets paralyzed, and we see another D-Gleam come off. Oh my god. Was that a crit on our Duraludon? Wow, it must be King's Rock. It's gotta be King's Rock Togekiss. So we're gonna go ahead and switch out our Salazzle to keep for later, and we're gonna go ahead and go into our Togekiss, or not our Togekiss, but we're gonna go ahead and G-Max our Duraludon to get the Max Steel Spike off. That did so much damage though, man. That must be a full special attack Togekiss with the King's Rock or something. Or a Choice Specs. Because that just does a lot of damage. We see another D-Gleam. Oh my god, it almost took out our Duraludon. My god! What is with the what is with the crits? We're gonna go for the Max Steel Spike. It's gonna seal the deal on the Togekiss. Oh my goodness, man. Just so much damage. And the Grimmsnarl goes for the Play Rough, but Duraludon avoided the attack. Oh my god, that is such clutch. That is such a clutch right there. Oh my god, good job, Duraludon. So we do see the Excadrill come out. And he has an air balloon on the Excadrill. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and bop that. And we're going to go for another Max Steel Spike. We're going to Flamethrower the Excadrill, probably try to get a burn. The Grimmsnarl goes for the Thunder Wave, but our Duraludon keeps avoiding the attack. Oh my god. And we just lost our Salazzle and Excadrill. To an Excadrill. Okay. And looks like our Grimmsnarl is not going to be able to do anything because he doesn't have any moves just besides Fake Out. So GG's to my opponent, and we're going to go ahead and give him the dub on this one. And we're going to take a big fat L on this one. Because we don't have any moves. And if we would have just gotten that Max Steel Spike first, or the Flamethrower first off on the off on the Excadrill, then we could have won that battle. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video for the double battles for ranked for ourselves, because I did. And if you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.